Okay, so this question is factorising a quadratic. So whenever I factorise a quadratic, I start with my grid and try and get that to a decent size. There we go. I can put my 20x squared, so my x squared will be in the top left. My minus 3, my constant. So my 20x squared goes in the top left, my minus 3 goes there. And these two are going to combine to give us the number of x's. So in order to try and figure out what two numbers go in there, I'm going to multiply the 20 by the negative 3 to give me negative 60. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for two numbers that multiply to give negative 60 and then add up to give me 7. So I'm going to start with 60 to start off with. So I get 1 and 60. If I double that and halve this, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5 and 12, 6 and 10. So they multiply to give a negative, which means one's negative and one's positive, and overall they add to give a positive, which means the positive number has to be the bigger number. So let's make all these negatives. And we're looking for the ones that add up to give us 7. So it's going to be negative 5 plus 12. So that's going to be my x's. So negative 5x plus 12x. And it doesn't matter which way round they go. So now I'm going to factorise this expression. And the way I'm going to do that is to take the top row. So I'm going to just take this top row, treat it as a rectangle, and find two things and multiply to give that. So I'm going to factorise this top row. So both this got a 20 and a 5 in common. Sorry, a 20 and a 5, so a common factor of 5, an x squared and an x. So that's a common factor of x. So now we can say that this side multiplied by this side will give us 20x squared. So I get 5x multiplied by something gives me 20x. Well, 5 times 4 is 20, and x times x is x squared. So I have that. Then I can come to here, like I say, well, now I can figure out what this section is, because 4x times 12, 4x multiplied by something is 12x. Well, 4x times 3, so it's going to be plus 3. Okay, let's go with this one now. 5x times something is negative 5x. Well, that's negative 1. And then I can check now that these two should multiply to give me negative 3, which they do. So my factorising becomes the one side of this rectangle, 5x plus 3, multiplied by the other side, which is 4x minus 1. So that's it factorised, and hence solve the equation where it's equal to 0. So if it's equal to 0, one of these two has to be 0. So either the first bracket, 5x plus 3, is 0, in which case you've got 0 multiplied by something, which will always give you 0. Or the other bracket, the 4x minus 1, is 0, in which case you've got something times 0, which will also be 0. So if we solve this to find x equals, I'm going to take the 3 away, so it's minus 3, 0 minus 3 is minus 3, and divide by 5. If I do the similar thing to get x on its own with this one, I'm going to add 1 to get rid of the minus 1, and then divide by 4. So I have my solution to the equation.